easy as the corner. I'll be honest with you. This is going to be the most difficult 5 questions. But here's my one question. I'm trying to be realistic. Can Dalton Schultz be above average? Can he be above average? Because last year he was not. Can Dalton Schultz be above average?
Like across the board with like everything he does?
Just above average. Just an above average tight end. Top 20.
He can be a top 20 tight end.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He can.
So you say yes.
He was, I think he was probably right on the precipice of top 20 last year, which is not good when you think about the financial investment.
How will Kaylee use the tight ends? I do wonder like how the slot receivers and the fullback kind of factor in. And there's really one fullback, but how will Kaylee use the tight ends? Hopefully he's not asking them to block the way that Bobby did. But how will he use them? That'll be interesting. That'll be something to keep. I don't think it's going to be something like, I don't think this year is going to be something where it's useful info heading into the offseason. Like, in other words, like when you and me are talking about the draft, I don't think we can sit here and say, well, tight ends caught this many passes and slot receivers caught this many passes, so this is how Nick Caley likes to use his tight ends. I think it's going to be a make-do year. I don't think there's like any way to judge Nick Caley's system, his philosophy based on what happens with the tight ends this year.
Yeah, that's been my thought process, that he's going to have to just figure it out this year with this group, and then if they got to change the room or get him something new, they'll do that next offseason. Numero 3.
Will different vibe Brevin Jordan fit in? And this is why I say different vibe Brevin Jordan. And I've interviewed him during 2 camps where his status on the roster was much in question, and at times it was much in doubt. You didn't know whether he was going to make the team or not, including 2 seasons ago where we thought he was fighting for his job. He got hurt. They kept him anyways. This year, it kind of feels like there's an assumption that Brevin Jordan's going to be on the team. And I just wonder, 1, does he fit into what Nick Caley does? And 2, is it kind of going to be like a equalizer where when we assumed that he wasn't going to be on the team, he was, and when we assumed that he was going to be on the team, he wasn't. So how will this fit in multiple ways?
First, he's got to be healthy and be out there, or he's going to get moved on from. I mean, they moved on from a more productive player who had health issues last year in Noah Brown. So they're not afraid to move on from a guy if he's not available. So he's got to get out there, and then he's got to be able to do as much as the rookie and then do it way better than the rookie to make this team. Because you think about the advantages of having, if you're Nick Caley, if you're thinking about this thing long-term, if the rookie's even with Brevin Jordan, well, I'm going to have the rookie here for a few more years. I don't know about Brevin Jordan. I'll keep the rookie, and I'll mold him. I don't have to break any bad habits. I know what he could do from the jump, and he could probably get better. Like, is Brevin Jordan getting better at anything at this point in his career? I wouldn't think so. I think he's probably about what he is.
Yeah, I think the legend of Brevin Jordan grew because you saw how crappy the things went without him. I don't know that they would have been less crappy, but I think sometimes being absent is better than being present, especially if stuff is bad when you're absent. And I think the legend of Brevin Jordan kind of grew a little bit just based off being absent and everything that was present being really bad. Next one, can Kade Stove be a consistent ideal number 2? I don't sit here and look at Kade Stove as the tight end of the future. He maybe could be a tight end of the future in a complementary piece. And I think that's realistic. And I think that's great for a 4th round pick. And in a league where multiple tight ends are used, that's really where I'm setting it. I want to see if Kade Stove can be a consistent ideal number 2 tight end. I think he's going to put his best foot forward. I think he's going to control everything he can control as long as he doesn't go out with us and down a couple cases of PBR. I think he'll be fine. But Kade Stove, can he be a consistent ideal number 2?
I believe he can. And my hope is that he shows that more often than not this year. And then, going forward as an organization, hey, one of our tight end spots is filled with Kade Stove. probably not going to be our top tight end, but we know tight end 2 or tight end 3 is going to be filled by Kade Stover, and then we put the rest of the room together around that knowledge. That's what you would hope for by the end of the year if you're the Texans.
Fact. Number 5. We're getting ahead of ourselves, Cody. We're getting ahead of ourselves. And this is kind of hypocritical of me, I will admit, because all I've said the last couple of months is, man, we got to get through this offseason. We got to get through this offseason. We got to get through the downtime, man. I can't wait for the season to start. But now my 5th question about tight ends is about next offseason. So I'm already skipping ahead damn near half a year, and I'm asking, how aggressive will tight end pursuit be next offseason? The answer, I think, is going to be high. I think it's going to be a priority position. I think it kind of was pushed to the back this year based on limited assets and based on situational decision making. But I do anticipate, and I'm bringing this up for a number of reasons, not to like get ahead of ourselves, but I don't think you judge Nick Caley and how he uses tight ends this year. And I do think next year this will be a priority position, tight end.